Today is my 41st birthday. Let's go ahead and fathom that. What does that mean to be 41 years old? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're younger than age 41 and you have this idea of, man, 41, that's so old. You've already turned 40 a year ago. It's funny because my initial reaction to waking up and being 41 today, and I was telling my wife this, it seems like 6 months ago I turned 40. I mean, I very clearly remember a year ago turning 40 and what that was like and having my 40th birthday party and all of that. It feels like it wasn't a year ago. I mean, specifically this past year seems like a lot less time than a normal year goes by. And here is my philosophy on that. And I have been sharing this for the past couple years, but man, now more than ever that I'm a year into my 40s. The further along you get in life, the more that you figure out, the less questions you have to ask. Those question marks turn into, if anything, periods or exclamation marks, as in, I already know that, I don't have to think about it. So imagine if you can free your mind from having to wonder things, or to think about things, you already know the answers. Think of how much more time that has to give you back of your life, because you're not wondering anymore. You already know. You already have a game plan. You already realize that most things in life you don't actually control. It's funny, when you're younger, you have all these opinions about things that matter, like political issues, for example, or even your favorite TV shows and movies or sports team, as if that actually has an effect on the rest of the world, and it doesn't. What it does is it just tends to change the lenses for which the way you see the world. But your opinion doesn't actually change anything. I know that now. My opinion doesn't change anything. It has an immediate effect on how I live my own life. But how I feel about a certain thing politically, or a sports team, or my favorite band, that doesn't mean anything outside of my own brain. At best, it might have an effect on my immediate life in my own house, in my own head, but not outside of that. So you learn to not worry about most things, because most things don't actually matter. It's very liberating. You can live a lot more free when you're not having to worry about those things. But not only mentally, for the sake of seeing a return of your investments by the time you're 41. So for example, I've been married for quite a while now, over 13 years, going on 14. My kids aren't babies anymore. My daughter turned 6 this weekend. My son's 11. No more babies. And that means life is actually not as stressful as it used to be. No more babies waking up in the middle of the night. Now I can have conversations with my kids. My 6-year-old daughter knows how to set up a chessboard and play. We can play chess now. I mean, 6 years ago she was a baby, but now I don't have to focus on such childish things. As a family, as I said, it's a return on my investment. I can see that, hey, you know what? I'm not actually having to work as hard, but yet my quality of life is better now. So imagine that. Less wondering, less worrying, less questions, more answers, more confidence in myself because I know what's going on. Life is better once you cross 40 because things have sort of worked themselves out. I'm not asking, who am I? Not only do I know who I am, but I'm able to better navigate my life because I actually know who I am and what my purpose is and what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. It's the return of investment. But I'm a year into my 40s, and hey, another thing too is I now have more time to focus on myself, not only mentally but also physically. So if I choose to make my hobby taking care of myself physically, I can do that. And it's funny, I'm in the best shape of my life, and yet I'm in 40s. I'm in better physical shape than I was in my teenage years, my 20s, or my 30s. And I think a lot of people in their 40s realize, okay, I have time and space to focus on something like this now. And clearly it's the right decision to focus more on improving your mental health and your physical health. So in case no one else tells you, turning 41, I love it. It's great. I'm really looking forward to my 40s. I understand that eventually it's not going to be getting better. Eventually. But 40s, I fully endorse them. Your comments belong right here. And if you'd like to learn more about your Enneagram, you can also click right there, take a test, buy this book, because that's another thing that's helped me out, is to understand who I am from an Enneagram perspective. Comments right here.